My name is Jonathan Engler. I am co-chair of Heart Group together with Dr. Claire Craig, and I'm also on the People's Vaccine Inquiry team. We're here to support the vaccine injured and bereaved here in Northern Ireland in raising awareness of the injuries suffered by an increasing number of people from the products known as COVID vaccines. The word vaccines is incredibly important. We are told that vaccines are a modern medical miracle and that all vaccines on the market are safe and effective. And safe and effective was the mantra adopted by governments on the back of the use of the word vaccines. But as we will hear, the use of the word vaccine has had profound implications because these products are actually nothing like previous products known as vaccines. The use of the word vaccines has influenced the public, who assumed that getting a COVID jab was like getting a flu jab, doctors, who assumed that they were just a modern, cleaner version of a product class which they have in the main trusted implicitly, and regulators, who allowed the product rollout to continue despite the lack of significant areas of testing which would have been required for other drugs which were not classed as vaccines. It's worth noting that this is actually something which surprised even the manufacturers, who warned investors in financial regulatory documents that they expected drug regulators to apply more stringent testing requirements in line with gene therapy products. So why are these products so different? Today, we're going to focus on the product known as the Pfizer vaccine. It's important not to forget that the developer and license holder of this product is actually a company called BioNTech, but everyone calls it the Pfizer vaccine. We're focusing on that product today, not because there are no injuries associated with the other products, but because that is the product rolled out in the greatest quantity, that is the one still being used in the UK in significant quantities, and most importantly, that is the product for which we have the greatest data available to analyse. The Pfizer mRNA vaccine is built on the mRNA lipid nanoparticle platform. This platform is totally novel. Before the rollout of these vaccines, only a few hundred people had ever received mRNA products, and these were as part of early-stage clinical trials for the treatment of cancer. The lipid nanoparticles, which carry the mRNA and are designed to cross membranes in the body so that their cargo can reach the cancer cells, had been found to be too toxic for repeated doses, and early concerns about the use of the platform for vaccines was countered by the assumption that only 1 or 2 doses would ever be used. The mRNA lipid nanoparticle platform is inherently dangerous for a number of reasons. The basis of the design for all vaccines is to give the body a harmless version of the virus which allows the body to recognise it in the future and mount a rapid and effective immune response. The thing given which stimulates the immune system is called an antigen. There are a variety of methods used to make the antigen. Some vaccines use an inactivated version of the pathogen. Others use a small sample of the proteins which make up the virus. But what they have in common is that a small, fixed amount of the antigen is administered. With the mRNA products, the difference is that an instruction to make the viral protein, in this case called spike protein, is administered to the person. When the cells make the foreign protein, they are immediately destroyed by the body's immune system. That's probably not consequential if a small amount of the antigen, the spike protein, is produced in the arm and then quickly destroyed, having triggered the memory of the person's immune system. The problem is that we know now, and if the regulators didn't know this, they ought to have known it, that the injected product goes everywhere in the body. This was actually totally predictable, since the lipid nanoparticles were, as I said earlier, designed to cross the body's membranes as the original use was intended for carrying cancer drugs to tumours. But the situation is worse than that, as there appears to be no control over the amount of antigen produced. There are probably 1,000-fold differences between individuals in this respect. Can you imagine being told for any other drug that the final dose administered might be hundreds or thousands-fold different from that intended? The duration of production, the studies suggest that the product is still active months or years after injection. The protein itself, the spike protein, has been artificially altered to make it hang around for longer. And then there's an issue called the frame shift problem, where nonsense proteins are produced, not just the spike protein. These have the potential to cause significant health problems because they will cause inflammation. There are other issues with the platform as well. The lipid nanoparticles encourage inflammation in the body in themselves. And various contaminants have been found in the manufactured products, such as DNA contamination and excessive quantities of a product that is produced when cell walls are broken down called endotoxin. That's a result of the manufacturing process.